What is up? My name is Danberg and today I'm gonna show you guys how I made this tech house beat we're gonna put on SoundCloud for you guys to listen to. Let's get it in.
Don't come running back now that I'm over you. Don't come running back now that I'm over you.
To start it off, I simply found a vocal and I put down some basic drums and I'm gonna explain to you guys what it is. But first, we're gonna listen to the vocal.
Don't come running back now that I'm over you. What about that girl that you've been talking to?
We're starting with an EQ and then we're de-essing it. So the S's aren't that harsh. Just a simple DS. I'm doubling it to be sure. Then we're compressing it. So we're compressing the shit out of it. So that's gonna help.
Don't come running back now that I'm over you.
Simple reverb.
What about that girl that you've been talking to?
Sometimes I use Kickstarter because I personally like a bounce this.
Don't come running back now that I'm over.
When you're looping a certain part of the vocal. Because when we're just looping this,
Don't you play these games? Don't you play these games?
that would be sick if it's ducking on the kick. For like the full hook, it isn't really needed, so.
Don't come running back now that I'm over you. What about that girl that you've been talking to?
These are the drums we have. They're pretty basic. If you want to give it a little bit more rhythm, spice it up a little bit, just add some snares, add some off snares and a rider. Basically finish it and get a rhythm with some closed hi-hat. We're gonna look for a bass right now. If you don't really have to write sounds for basses, just purchase Evo Sounds. Evo Sounds. Just make your life easy. We have a bass line, we had to pitch the vocal down because I personally like to be gritty. It needs to be bassy. The vocal just hits better with the kick and the bass, and let me explain this better, okay? You need a good kick and a good bass that hit together. Some just don't hit kick and bass that combine together. Personally, I like my basses to be low and a little bit gritty. So after pitching down the vocal and getting it together with the bass, it sounds like this. Yes, that sounds amazing.
Don't come running back now that I'm over you. What about that girl that you've been talking to? I've kept every message, there ain't no excuse. Don't you play these games, cause it's too little too late. Don't come running back now that I'm over you. What about that girl that you've been talking to?
Okay, so now we're just gonna make the rest of the beat. We have to add a melody, do some mixing, get some arrangement, get the beat started, get it flowing, get it going. You know what they say, my friend. We from the Netherlands. So let's do the rest of the segment in Stone Cold English. Probably not. Let's get it started. As you can see, I very like the bass. Let me know if you like the bass too in comment. Let's actually be serious.
You've been talking to play these games, cause it's too little too late. Don't come running back now that I'm over you. Don't come running back now that I'm over you. Don't come running back now that I'm over you. What about that girl that you've been talking to? I've kept it.
Because we're going from F to A minor, that means we have to go from the bass from F to A minor.
Don't come running back now that I'm over you. What about that girl that you've been talking to? I've kept every message, there ain't no excuse. Don't you play these games, cause it's too little too late. Don't come running back now that I'm over you. What about that girl that you've been talking to? I've kept every message, there ain't no excuse. Don't you play these games, cause it's too little too late.
So we found a new melody, now we're just gonna split every pattern we have and make an arrangement, build out the tune, and get this song finished.
What about that girl that you've been talking to? Don't come running, don't come running back now that I'm over you. What about that girl that you've been talking to? I've kept every message, there ain't no excuse. Don't you play these games, cause it's too little too late. Don't come running back now that I'm running. Don't come running back now that I'm running. Don't come running back now that I'm running. Don't come running back now that I'm. Don't come running. Don't come running. Don't come running. Don't come running. Don't come. Now that I'm running, running 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 now that I'm. Don't come running, don't come running now that I'm running, running now that I'm. Don't come running, a little too late. A little too late. A little too late.
Hey! Hey, begin met dit! Hey! 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 FL Studio just crashed. To speed it up, I made a little bit of an arrangement. This is what we have right now. To give you guys a quick summary, we started with some simple basic drums, then we found the vocal, put some extra drums in it to give it a little bit groove with the vocal, get some bass. Maybe you have to pitch the vocal, pitch the bass to get something you like. Maybe change the kick, because it's very important the kick and the bass are good together, that they just work. You start off with this. We're adding a vocal.
Don't come running.
Then we're gonna add a bass to spice it up.
Don't come running.
Before that you could find a melody, or after that, depends on what you like. I found this melody.
Don't come running.
The green line just shows an effect that goes on the further you go into this. This is something you could do to just keep it interesting, keep it spicy, keep it fun. We did something with the vocal in the start to just give it a little fade in, so it just doesn't start with the vocal, but you get introduced with it slowly. As soon as we get the vocal and hear the vocal, we're also adding different sounds or adding new sounds to keep the listener interested, keep it interested. Making a drop that goes into the drums depends on every beat. Sometimes you want a silence, sometimes you want something like this where you just get the kicks in it, something, get the listener into it. I added a reverse kick right here, just so we get a little bit of a bump into the beat. You could do whatever you like. I personally like the reverse kick in there, so it gives a BAM! So you're in that. In that. I never said that, but as you can see, we also have some automations here for the kick and the bass. This is just to build it up, give some suspense, give some, get the listener going. That's gonna be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope to see you next week. Tune in on SoundCloud. Link below. Let's get it on.